You should sit there.
And when you go to take water from the kund, just remember, if the step is wet, it could be very chickeny. You may end up taking a snan you didn't plan for. All the kunds in Braj, if the step is wet, you have to be very, very careful. Bahut chickeny hoga.
He's a big preacher, preaching to the whole diamond merchant community.
Acha, okay. He's a jewel of devotees, so he speaks to the jewelers. Anyway, just like Om Agyana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadavayam Vedati Swaparantikam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatrubhyascha kripasindhubheva patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So prasad was nice. And everybody made it through Sankari Kaur okay?
Yes.
Did you walk through the village of Chiksoli? And now we're sitting on the edge of Gevarvan in Barsana. And this kund has several names. One is, I first learned it as Krishna Kund. As Krishna brought his cows here one time, and there was no water for them to drink. So he took his flute and he dug this kund, so it became known as Krishna Kund. Because Krishna's flute is very practical for calling gopis, for calling cows, digging kunds. A few days we'll go to Bandiran, he dug a well, very practical flute. The other name is Radha Sarovar, our other name is Gevarkund. So we heard that this hill of Barsana is incarnation of Lord Brahma. And just like Brahma, he's got 4 heads. This hill has 4 peaks. One of them right in front of me, if you look very closely, you can see this little temple up here. This is called Mor Kutir. You know Mor? What you say when you want extra prasadam, huh? Mor means peacock. And you see here, all over the top of the temple, in the little domes, little peacock decorations are there. So what happened was one time Krishna saw that Radharani and her Sakhis were on top of this peak watching something. So he went there to see, and he found Radharani and the Sakhis, they were watching the dancing of the peacocks. And peacock was dancing, and so Krishna, he also began to dance just like a peacock. And peacock was dancing, and Krishna was dancing, and peacock was dancing, and Krishna was dancing. Then he came before Brisbanu Nandini, and she said, "You dance very nicely, but this peacock dances nicer than you." So then again Krishna began to dance. Peacock was dancing and Krishna was dancing. Again he came before Srimati Radhika. She said, that was much better. But this peacock dance is nicer than you. So then Radharani became Morni. If Mor is peacock, then Morni must mean peahen. And Radha Krishna began to dance as Mor and Morni. So this particular peak became known as Mor Kutir. And if you were fortunate enough to go up there, you saw there's a very beautiful painting of Radha and Krishna dancing as Mor and Morni. There was one sadhu in the Nimbarka Sampradaya, and he was doing his bhajan on top of this hill, and this leela appeared before him. And Radharani blessed him. He was an artist. And Radharani blessed him that as long as you paint this scene, that scene will be manifest before your eyes. So that beautiful painting is up there. This sadhu painted that painting, directly seeing that pastime in front of his eyes. So this is Mor Kutir. On the other hand, you see there's another temple here. Now government is building solid stone temple there. Amazing place coming up. This is called Mangar. Man, of course, you know, means, we usually translate as anger, but man, you take a little anger and some pride and some crocodile tears and some coquettishness, and you mix it all together like an artist, you get man. So when Radharani is upset with Krishna, she does man lila. So it happened one time, Radha and Krishna were sitting on top of that peak. It was full moon night, and Krishna was describing the beauty of Srimati Radhika. And he told her that her complexion was just as beautiful as the full moon. And Radharani became furious. Why she became furious? Because we see the moon is so imperfect. He's got so many spots. Krishna was comparing her beauty with something so faulty as the moon. Actually, moon has got panch dos. He has 5 faults. First, just like we said, he's kalank, he's spotted. Second is kai, he shrinks. Now he's growing, but sometimes he shrinks. Third fault is banki, he's crooked, like Banki Bihari. A third fault, no, that was the fourth is, what is that?
Eclipse. Just a shrinking spots, eclipse.
Okay. Nisachar. Just like we came to Vrindavan to learn a little bit of Vaishnavachar, behavior like a Vaishnava. But moon, he's Nisachar. Nisha means night. Nisachar means whose behavior is to come out at night. And who comes out at night? Rakshasas. And when does the moon come? Night time. So he's Nisachar. And fifth fault is Vishyabandhu. Vishyabandhu. Most of you know the meaning of Vish. Just like, especially in the West, my godbrothers and godsisters and the devotees, they name their children, you know, Visvambar, Viswajit, Viswajivan, Viswanath. And what do all their friends call them? Bish! Oh, Bish! I'm always so embarrassed on Prikamay, so like, hey, Bish! You know, and all the Bishvazis turn around. I said, what was that? So when they churned the ocean of milk, first thing that came out was vish, poison. Then Uchesrava and Airavat and so many things. And also moon was born. So he's Vishabandhu, he's a relative of the poison. Fifth fault. Other fault is, what do we call the moon in Sanskrit? Chandra. Sounds too much like one of Radharani's competitors. So Radharani became furious and she ran and hid. And Krishna was left lamenting and lamenting. Hearing Krishna's lamentation, even the rocks were melting. After a while, Radharani returned, but she was dressed up just like Krishna. And Krishna looked down in the forest and he said, "Hey, who are you?" He said, "I'm Krishna, who are you?" Krishna said, "I'm Krishna, who are you?" And Radharani said, "I'm Krishna, who are you?" "No, you're an imposter, I'm the real Krishna." Radharani says, "No, you're the nakli wala, I'm the real wala." In this way they were arguing, and then Radharani said, "Well, if you're the real Krishna, then where's your Srimati Radharani?" "Where's your Srimati Radharani?" Krishna said, "I'll play my flute, she'll come, you'll see." And Krishna played his flute. Again he played his flute. Still no Radharani came. Third time he played so enchanting melody on his flute, Radharani could no longer maintain her disguise. When Krishna opened his eye, he saw Radharani standing right in front of him. And he grabbed Radharani's hand and they ran up to Unchagaon behind here to Lalita Sakhi's village to see if Lalita Sakhi can tell who is Radha and who is Krishna. So you just came through this village of Chiksoli. And I told it was famous for butter, milk, yogurt, ghee, all these things. And Krishna, he too much likes what? Butter. So Krishna and all his friends, they came to this village and they were checking house to house to find out some house where no gopis at home. So they peeked in the window, they saw no gopis at home. So they went around to the front door and came inside and began to drink all the yogurt and eat all the butter. Because in old days, and even now I've been in villages, nobody ever bothers to put lock on their door. You guys all live in Bombay, you have so many locks, you can't even get into your building first of all. You have to push the button, identify yourself, then a funny sound comes, then the door opens, you get inside. Then you go up to the 25th floor, find out your friend's apartment, hit the button, you know, and there's a little glass there, it gets dark, you know, who's out there. You know. Then, so many locks you have to do. But in village, people just, in old days, nobody put lock on his house. So they just came inside and had a good time. That gopi came home. She heard some noise from the window and she peeked inside, what's going on? Now you've seen in India we don't have one door. Now we started doing that. But in the old days when I first joined, everybody had two doors like this. And there's one bolt on the outside and there's one bolt on the inside. So that gopi went around. She put the bolt from the outside. Means who's ever inside, now he can't get outside. So Krishna, she ran to call all their other gopi friends. We caught this rascal. Now Krishna, he also heard that sound. He knows the meaning of that sound. He looked all around, he went out the window. So all the cowboys, they ran and jumped. Ping, 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 ping. They all jumped out the window. Except there's one friend of Krishna named Madhumangal. First problem of Madhumangal, he's lame. He couldn't run like the other cowboys. He couldn't climb like the other cowboys. Other problem is Madhumangal's Krishna's Sakha, his friend, but he's not a Gopa. He's a Brahmin. And you may have noticed our Braj Brahmins don't tend to be very skinny fellows. In fact, if you want to do Brisvasi Bhojan, you have to have at least 10 deshi ghee laddus on the plate or they won't sit down. I'm not a real Brisvasi, I only take 2 and I'm finished. But they won't sit till there's 10. You know? So Madhumangal, he couldn't run, he couldn't climb. Somehow he managed to get up to the window. He tried to go through the window. He got stuck. That gopi came back with all her friends. They opened up the door, they came inside. Ha! We got you! Nobody's there. Just this fat friend of Krishna stuck in the window. So they pulled Madhumangal out of the window. And they took flower garlands and tied his hands behind his back. Then they tied a rope around his sika and they threw it over the branch of the tree. So now we got hostage. You thought this hostage taking was a new thing. This has been going on at least 5,000 years. So when you have a hostage, you have a demand. So they told him, now you call your friend Krishna here. And they pulled on that string. One more time? No, our photographer doesn't have his, he's supposed to have his lens ready. Oh, Krishna! One more. Oh, Kanya! So Krishna heard Madhumangal crying. He came running there and he saw what was going on. And he became very angry. Are, don't you know? This Madhumangal, he may be one of my sakhas, he may be one of my friends, but he's not a Gopa, he's a Brahmin. Now you done? Brahman aparad. You done? Brahman aparad. Now your health, your wealth, and your beauty will all be finished. Look at it. Okay. And what do little girls worry about? Health, wealth, beauty. So they all became very frightened. Oh, Shamsundar, what can we do? How can we get free from this aparad? He said, you go to your houses, you find out as many laddus as you have in your house. You set Madhumangal down, you see a nice asan over there. You make a nice asan and sit Madhumangal down. And you feed him those laddus, he'll forget all about the aparad. He will give you ashirvad, blessing. So they made a nice asan, they sat Madhumangal down over there. They ran to the houses, they brought back all the laddus they could find. They were feeding the Madhumangal. He was very happy. He forgot all about the aparad. He gave all of them ashirvad. Which ashirvad? Mano Kamana. Mano Kamana means dearmost desire in the heart. And what is the dearmost desire in the heart of all the gopis? That somehow Nanda Nandan become pleased with us. And that is Krishna consciousness. In English we say in a nutshell, we say Sanshep Roop Mein. In a nutshell, everything we're doing is so Krishna will become pleased with us. We chant the holy name, we offer our food, we listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Just so Krishna will become pleased with us. We go to Mangalarti, at least here in Vrindavan, and we offer all our food to Krishna, and we take part in the festivals. Why? So Krishna will become pleased with us. That is Krishna consciousness. Simple. We make it all complicated. But it's simple. You just think, whatever I'm doing, am I doing this so that Krishna will become pleased with me? Or am I doing this so that my senses will become pleased? If you keep that formula in your brain, then you're always Krishna conscious, 24 hours a day. Simple. So now Madhu Mangal, his belly is full of laddus. He's very happy. He won't see what is your good quality or bad quality. He'll give you whatever blessing you want. So whatever blessing you want, you take. Madhu Mangal ki jai. Those who went up to Morkutir, from upstairs you can see all around this Braj Mandal. And especially after the rainy season, it's so green. Just now they're cutting, some places a little brown because they're cutting down the crops and everything. It's so beautiful view. See this Braj Mandal is not part of the material world. From there top you can see all around. Here every bird, bee, animal, person, everything has something to do in Krishna's leela. Then somebody always asks, what about snake? It's like sometimes as they go Goshala, a big black cobra comes out. One time, Krishna was too fresh with Srimati Radhika, and she just fled away. And she was flying down the path, and Krishna was trying to pursue her, but she was just flying so fast down the path. And as she was running and running, suddenly a big black snake was coming along the path. And he saw this little girl was about to trample on top of him. He stood up and went, shh! And Radharani screamed and ran back into the arms of Nandananda. So even snake has something to do with Krishna Leela. It's such a wonderful thing. So most of the places from here on are very small. So we're telling all the leelas here. Plus, my health is not the best, so I'll leave you from here. So we'll tell them now. We're going to enter into Gevarvan. First of all, you notice all these huge, nice peepal trees. Anybody see beehives? Usually there's so many beehives hanging.
Oh, there.
Huh? Oh, there's one, yeah. You see so many beehives here hanging down. It's nice, sweet honey. And this forest, there's special trees you see here on the side. You'll never see these trees on the plains, because water will run down, so most of the trees they sit on the plains. But this trees you'll never see on the plain. They're only up here in the mountains where it's dry, no water, but they're only here. And these trees are called Dhau. Dhau. And now it's just rainy season's almost finished. You'll see all these trees just hanging over the path with little tiny emerald drop leaves. And just a couple of weeks ago there was beautiful yellow topaz flowers blooming. And now if you look closely you'll see little red ruby fruits. So this is a very mystical, very special forest. Sometimes emerald leaves, sometimes topaz flowers, sometimes ruby fruits. And if you come in December, then you'll find a whole forest of gold leaf trees. And if you come in January, then you'll find a whole forest of copper leaf trees. And if you come in Gaur Purnima time, you won't find any leaves. But the trees, their bark is very light, and Falgun means now the sun is getting intense. It looks like a whole forest of silver filigree trees. And in Gaur Purnima time, Krishna turns on his fan. See, whole winter there's no wind. He turns on his fan in the beginning of the spring. And you'll hear the wind blowing through the branches of the trees. No leaves, but just the branches are there. It's a very special forest. And ordinarily if you hit two rocks together, they just go clack, 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 clack. But this Vrindavan forest is very mystical. If you're in the right bhav, you can find one rock, and you can hit it against another big rock, and it'll go ding, 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 ding. Just like Nupur, ankle bell. Ding, 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 ding. You have to be just in the right mood and find the right rocks, and ding, ding, ding. Very, very special forest. You hear that? That's the kingfisher. Oh, we were singing that song. One of the verses is Kokilaveni. Kokilaveni means Radharani's voice is just as sweet as the kokila. Prabhupada translates as cuckoo, but cuckoo is a different bird. He says this is cuckoo is, well, in Sanskrit we call kokila. And kokila is a very beautiful sound. I had some problem with my face and I can't do the sound. We'll try. Let's see what happens. Anyway, something like, do you? If you've ever been to Mayapur festival, because they don't, during the winter you'll see, we don't hardly hear peacocks anymore. Peacocks, kokilas, everyone gets quiet except for these parrots, they're always chattering. But as soon as you hear that, do you? That means the hot season is coming. And they have another one. Then they have another one. And their most famous one, I can hardly imitate it. It's especially at Mayapur because it's warm there first, so you hear them in the morning outside your window. You'll hear them, but you'll never see them. They hide in the bakul trees with very heavy foliage so that you can't see them. They're very shy. But if you finally see them, you'll be disappointed. The Hindi poets say, this Bhagwan, he has no brain. He has created the peacock with so beautiful plumes, beautiful feathers. And his voice is just a squawk. And this kokila has such a sweet voice, and he's black as a crow. In fact, kokilas, the female kokilas, they're very tricky. The ladies will like this. They go in the crow's nest, lay their eggs, kam katam. And the baby kokilas cry louder than the crows, so they get most of the nourishment. And then around the kun, most of the kuns, you'll see this bird. He's got a nice black shirt, nice white, black coat, nice white shirt, starched. His tail goes like this as he walks. Beep, beep. And he sits in one corner of the kun and he goes. This we call jalmurgi, water chicken. There's another bird, he runs around the ground all day long, then night, they fly up into the tree. In Brijvasa we call it teeter, because in the morning he goes, I'm coming down, I'm coming down. And of course everybody knows the peacocks. So in Braj we hear all these beautiful birds. Anyway, when you get to the end of Gevurvan here, there's a small temple there called Nagar. Dan we know because all these Pandits and Brahmins are here trying to take Dan from you, charity. So that place is called Nagar. What happened was behind Barsana there's a place called Unchagaon. And in Unchagaon there lived a very, 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 very poor Brahmin, just like me. And just like me, he had a very, 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 very beautiful daughter. And she was marriageable age. Now most of you understand what this means. For those who don't understand Indian culture, you have not only have to raise and clothe and feed and educate and train your daughter how to serve her husband for the rest of her life. When you want to get her married, you have to give money also. Actually, it's abused, but it's a very scientific. Now they're starting out life, they need a new thing. And the Vedas always seek a way to even everything out. Because according to Vedas, only the sons will inherit the property of the father. So the girls, they get their inheritance at the time of their wedding. The boys, they have to wait for the old man to kick off. I say the Vedas are against men, not against women. But anyway, if you're very, very poor and you have a very, very beautiful daughter, this is a big anxiety. And not like me, he had a wife whose tongue was like a razor blade. Always cutting him. What kind of Brahmin are you? Get some dhan, get some charity, arrange the wedding of your daughter. What are you? Huh? Finally one day she said, look, I'm not going to cook, I'm not going to clean, you can't even come back in the house. You don't come back unless you get some dhan and you arrange the wedding of your daughter. So we thought what to do. Then he thought, well, Krishna, he's Deena Bandhu. He's a friend of the poor. He will surely help me. He must be there in Gevurvan. And he came there to Nagar, and Krishna and Radha and all the Sakhis were there. And then Brahman came and he presented his case to Krishna. And Krishna said, all right, now what am I supposed to do? All the money is with Nanda Baba and Nandagaon. I'm just a little cowherd boy here in the forest with my girlfriends. I don't have any money. And that Brahman, he began to cry. Now we know Krishna doesn't like to see the Brahmins unhappy. We sing every day, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. He likes to see the Brahmins very, very happy. So then Krishna thought for a moment, he said, all right, I don't have any money, but I have one Priya. Priya means dear. And in British English, dear means something very, very costly. Just like in America, if the petrol price goes up to $4 a gallon, they cry, you know. But I was just in England. If you convert it, they're selling in gallons there, but you convert it to liters, you know, it comes out to, you know, $7 or $8 a liter, a gallon, $7 or $8 a gallon, you know. Ew, it is so dear. So I don't have any money, but I have one Priya. So then Krishna made sankalp, and he gave Radharani in charity to that Brahmin. Now that Brahmin really began to cry. And first of all, I have one daughter, I can't even arrange her marriage. Now you've given me a second daughter, now my wife is going to kill me. And Radharani said, but Shamsu, do you know, 1 second I can't, no, I have given charity to Brahman, now I cannot touch. But 1 second I can't live with that, no, I have given charity to Brahman, I cannot touch. So then Radharani began to cry. And seeing Radharani crying, all the Sakhis began to cry. Now everybody's crying. Krishna thought what to do. He said, all right, you bring one scale. Not like you have in your bathroom at home, but you know, when you go to buy your fruit, but this was a big scale like this. So he sat Radharani on one side, he told all the Sakhis, you take your bangles and earrings and necklaces and gold and silver and pearl and diamond and ruby, emerald, everything, put it on the other side. If you go to the main temple in Delhi, in Nagar, right behind Gornitai, the Russian devotees made a beautiful painting of this pastime. Of Radharani sitting one side of the scale and all the Sakis putting their gold and silver and jewelry, everything on the other side. When that weighed just as much as Deha, the body of Srimati Radhika, he gave all that gold and silver and pearl and diamond and ruby to that Brahmin. That Brahmin became very happy. Haribo, Haribo! He ran off to Ujjagan to arrange the wedding of his daughter. And then Radharani became happy, and seeing Radharani happy, all the Sakis became happy. In one stroke, Krishna made everyone very, very happy. So you see Radha Krishna ki. So you'll see the very beautiful deity of Dan Bihari there. And you'll see a beautiful Jula there. One time, Tamal Krishna Maharaj came with some of the disciples on Prikam. It was Jula Nyatra time. And he saw this beautiful Jula there, and Radha Dan Bihari was swinging. Immediately he told his disciple, you make outfits for these deities. Because we shouldn't come just like tourists to Braj, we should think what to do. Just like there's one lady, used to live in Toronto, and now she lives in Vrindavan. But she used to come on my Prakrit. Every time we go to Dan Bihar, she'd always give a little box of saffron. She kept a little box of saffron for her favorite temples here and there. We should come with idea of service. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he saw this beautiful Jula Nyatra going. He said, but he told us I'd make an outfit for them immediately. So we should have this bhav. We want to serve the deities, we want to serve the devotees here in this place. Just beyond Dangar, we'll see Jaipur Mandir. Jaipur Mandir was made by Savai Madhu Singh. Ever wonder why, all the kings Savai Jai Singh, Savai Madhu Singh? Ever wonder why they call that Savai? Because they're thinking they're 25% better than the previous. So Savai Madhu Singh. You're 25% better than the last one. Anyway, that time, if you look closely when you go to Sriji Mandir, you see there's just an old stone structure off to the side. That was the old temple, not very opulent. So Savai Madhu Singh, he bought that hilltop. Even today it belongs to the Rajasthan Devasthanam Vibhag. And all the pujaris are hired from Jaipur. He built this beautiful palace. And all rooms all around. He used to come with this whole court and sit in front of the real king, and they would make all their decisions there like that. But when he built this beautiful temple, but when they tried to move Radharani, she refused to move. These Jaipur Wallahs is very tricky. They took Govinda, Gopinath, Damodar, everybody off there and never came back. I'm not going. So then he installed his own deity there. That is Radha. What is it? Kushal Bihari. Kushal means this happiness in the heart. So this is Radha Happy Bihari, you'll see that. Radha Kushal Bihari. And you'll see the king's photo is there, his guru, the king's photo is there, his guru was there from Nimbarka Sampradaya. So on the left altar, they trace their lineage from the Hans incarnation of the Lord down to the four Kumaras, then to Nard Muni, and then to Nimbarkacharya, like that, their line goes down. So you'll see Hans Gopal, and you'll see four little figures, that's the four Kumaras, and then you'll see Nard Muni there with his Veena, and then you'll see Nimbarkacharya and his main disciple, Srinivas, not anything to do with our Srinivas. And on the right, very far right altar is Nritya Gopal. Nritya means dancing. And you'll see, just beside his altar, there's this rath. They got it all covered up with cloth. There's a rath there. Rath Yatra time, they take him out and do prikrama all around the temple. There's Nritya Gopal. And all around the temple courtyard, you should go around and see all the beautiful, they have all these beautiful paintings all around. Especially at the end, there's a picture of Radha and Krishna doing Jula Yatra. And those two figures, Radha and Krishna on the sweet, so sweet faces they have. Inside the temple you can't take pictures, but these paintings you can take pictures of. Everybody loves that picture. And then the next big temple is HG Mandir. Because later they built the big temple there, then before my eyes I saw them double the size of the courtyard. And if you know where to look, there's a park on the way to Jaipur, to Sriji Mandir. There's a place where Narayan Bhatta Goswami found the deity of Radha and Krishna. And he established them there in the temple. And very, very beautiful deities are there. And you'll see many paintings there. Especially you'll see Holi. Because in Barsana they play a special type of Holi. It's called Latmar Holi. And they start on the Nomi. Before the Holi Purnima, on the Nomi day, if you come here to Barsana, you'll see all the Brahmins from Nandagam come, and they have big pugris on their head filled with towels and gamshas and everything like that. And they're carrying a shield. They have it all, they have a rhinoceros skin shield, and they have it all covered with colored tin foil and everything, very beautiful. And they bring Nanda Lala's chanda, and they come charging into the temple, and they're just squirting color on everybody and throwing powder, and they run around the ramparts of the temple, and then they bring the flag before Radharani and bow down, and they tie it with Radharani's garland, and then they sit down. The whole temple roof floors become the Red Sea, and they sit in that Red Sea, plunk, the Barsana Brahmas and Nandagam Brahmas, and they sing old ancient holy songs. They have a big songbook with letters this big, akshara this big, sing all these holy songs. They have a guy with 50 kilos of color on each corner, and they just take a big cloth and go, pah! And then from the pah, so the green cloud comes from this side, pink cloud comes from this side, yellow cloud comes from this side, red cloud comes from this side, and all those Brahmins down below, they become black and blue. Then they go charging down the stairs, and there's a Rangili Gali. And all the Brahmanis of Barsana who are married in Barsana, those who are born there can't play, those who are married in Barsana, they come with these big lattes, sticks, bamboo sticks, and they have these beautiful little gobi skirts, and with a beautiful veil with all the beautiful jari work on it, and they just, the men, most of you, some of you you're lucky you don't know Hindi, but the men throw the most foulest insults at the girls, and the girls, bam, bam, and they're jumping, bam, bam, with all their power. And they don't have a Maytag washing machine, you know. They're washing the cloth like this, rolling the chapatis. They got a lot of power, man. Bam, bam, and there's like 5 or 6 girls on one guy, but he's down there with his shield, you know, boom, boom, boom. Then one guy stops him, and another guy gets down, bam, bam, bam. All up and down the Rangili Gali, this Latmar Holi goes on. Then they do the same thing in Nandagam the next day. So anyway, my voice is at the end, so we'll put our voice to rest here. And you have wonderful Prikrama. We'll see you back in Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. And you take some water. Those who are young, you can go down and bring some water for those of us who are young at heart. But our knees don't like so much stairs anymore. And be careful, like I said, the first step of any kund could be very chickeny, slippery. You may end up taking a bath you didn't plan. Hare Krishna. Shri Barsana Dham ki, Srimati Radharani Barsani Wale ki.